Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. So I seriously think that I've forgotten like the true power of a sit down video. Like obviously you might not relate to anything that I talk about in these videos, you might relate to some of it and not all of it, or you might relate to like everything, but regardless I feel like if just one person sitting behind the screen feels the same way and can relate, then it's like 100% worthwhile me making these. And also I just feel like recently I have been talking a lot about change and me changing and growing up and stuff, and in that way it's just nice for me to sit down and talk about these things, and for me myself to see where I've come from and to just like appreciate that growth is a thing and growth is okay and change is okay. And yeah, basically in this video I want to talk about like friendships, socializing, confidence and stuff like this. I made a video in 2018 or something where I talked about like friendships and friendships at school and how it changed at university and stuff like this, and so I kind of want to throw it back but then take my spin on it now, you know, like quite a few years later. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. As you can tell from the title, I wanted to talk about friendship. I wanted to reflect on my experience at school and now at university regarding friends. It is such a throwback to 2018 and it's always a bit of a laugh to watch my old videos back. Something I do just want to say at the kind of start of this video, so I'll say it now. Yes, I'm obviously talking about friendships and socializing and me kind of like growing in confidence and stuff like this, but I'm not in any way, shape or form trying to make out that I have loads of friends and that, you know, I'm this social butterfly and I know so many people, because that's not the case at all. In particular, we've all been in a global pandemic, we've all been locked down, so we haven't really been able to socialize with people in person, so it has been really difficult for us all. So I do just want to throw that out there as a kind of like semi-disclaimer. The kind of bottom line of this video is that it is always best to have a very, very small handful of close friends and people that you can rely on in your life. Being best friends with the whole entire world and every single person that lives on this planet should not be anyone's goal, okay? Like, that's not what I'm trying to say in this video at all. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you do, as usual. And what you guys can do for me is comment down below any topics in particular you'd like me to talk about. It can be something I have spoken about in the past, or it can be an entirely new topic, but just feel free to leave any ideas down below. Also though, let me know if you want me to bring back the eat and chat with me videos, or like the cook, eat and chat with me videos that I did a bit last year in lockdown, because those were actually really fun. Maybe wearing this jumper was a bad idea with the window closed and everything. I'm actually getting quite hot already. Whew. But anyway, we're gonna press on. So the first thing I kind of wanted to talk about was university and friends at university. I did talk quite a bit about this in my 2018 video, and so I don't really want to repeat myself, but I kind of want to put a different spin on it, because obviously I was midway through my time at Cambridge when I filmed that. Looking back at my time at Cambridge, I can definitely say that I met people not by kind of going out of my way, you know. I wasn't really putting myself in many social situations where I had to kind of socialize and meet people. I was just like making friends by virtue of what I was doing. So whether that be, you know, studying, like I was friends with the bio-Natskis in my college. Most of the people I met at university and became very close with were my dance friends through like the dance society and stuff. Like that is how I met people, and it was kind of like very easy in that respect for me to kind of socialize, because I could immediately relate to people whether we shared the same interest in dance or we shared an interest in studying biology, you know. I was just making friends by virtue of the environment or the situations I naturally found myself in. How can I word this in a way that makes sense? I feel like in that moment, you know, like 2018 Holly, when I filmed that video, say for example, my perception of my social confidence growing was perhaps skewed in a way, because as I said, I was simply meeting people because I was going to dance, or I was in a college where there were lots of people. Realistically looking back, like my confidence didn't grow very much at university. Like yes, I met a lot of people, but I was still really quite introverted. And what I would say now is that at university, yes, I gained friendships, but I didn't really gain confidence. As I've opened up about before, like at Cambridge, it's a very high stress and high pressure environment, and it's a very high achieving environment. Like everyone wants to do well in their studies at Cambridge. So I feel like a lot of other factors play into this, you know, like there's imposter syndrome. I always felt in supervisions like very awkward and very shy, and as if my voice and my opinions weren't worthy of really being heard. Any kind of social situation where you kind of had to mingle and small talk, whether it be at a formal or whether it be, you know, in a bar or something, I always found it so difficult. But regardless, university was a great time for me in terms of, you know, like socializing and mixing with people, shall we say. However, what I didn't really gain at university, as I said, was like confidence in social situations, and that is what I kind of want to talk about now, because I really feel like I've gained this from my gap year experiences. When I was traveling for 3 months, you know, like I was meeting new people every single day, whether it be in a hostel, on a tour, just me out in a grocery store. Like I was meeting new people all the time. I was meeting people from all over the world and with such diverse backgrounds. Obviously, yes, at university you meet different people, but I was meeting people and making friends with people that, you know, had similar interests to me. Whereas when I was traveling, most of the time, like I just had to talk to people and make conversation, find things that we had in common. It wasn't as if I was meeting someone that I already knew was gonna be into the same stuff as me. Like I had no idea. I was just meeting new people, seeing if I got along with them and riding with it or not, basically. And so doing that continuously for 3 months really helped me. Like it boosted my confidence, as I said, and I learned so much about socializing and being in social situations and new social situations with such different people. At the start it was so hard, you know, like my first month of traveling I was really homesick and I wasn't really talking to many people. I was talking to people, but I was still in my shell, sort of thing. I was holding back. Whereas in my last 2 months, that is when I was like, you know what, this is a once in a lifetime experience. You know, I've got to use these opportunities to grow my confidence, to gain new skills, and to actually make friends in very new situations. It was the best thing about traveling, and I will bang on about this till the day I die, because I just think that traveling was the best experience for me. Another thing that traveling did for me, along with building confidence in social situations, it truly made me realize the importance of friendships. In my 2018 video, I'm pretty sure I was like, oh, I value the importance of friendships, which I was slowly realizing, but I don't think I've properly realized that until now. Because, you know, like when I was traveling, I was on my own. I was Holly Go solo for 3 months, and so I didn't have my family to fall back on. I had to like make friends and find comfort and support in those around me, and that is something, as I said, I've carried forward since. So for example, like I've felt so much happier meeting people through, you know, like what I do online. I've had the opportunity to meet such amazing people just through making YouTube videos and being on social media, which has been incredible. But I've just felt so much happier about doing that. Whereas in the past, like if I take myself back to 2018, I would still feel very anxious about like meeting new people, and I wouldn't really be very open to it. So that's the kind of like first half of this video where I wanted to talk about, yes, the positive side of friendships and what I've really learned over these past few years. However, now I kind of want to talk about the not so positive side to friendships, you know, talk about social anxiety and the fact that, you know, I'm kind of introverted, I still am introverted, and talk about my kind of struggles with friendships to this day, because I don't feel like I'm giving you the full picture if I just talk about, you know, like the positive side of friendships and making friends and meeting new people, because it's not all sunshines and rainbows, like nothing ever is. Just get a bit of water before we go into this. I'm saying like social anxiety, you know, quote unquote social anxiety, because I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist, I'm not an expert in this field, but I would say, and I've kind of recently realized that yes, I am an introvert. I do like to be on my own, and I kind of have to recharge in my own space and in my own world. But I would say that something I don't think I've really realized is that yes, I would say I have social anxiety. I just feel like the more I've read about this and the more I've had others talk about this, the more I can relate to it, and the more I feel like I do experience anxiety in social situations. I feel like I feel most anxious or uncomfortable in social situations where there are a lot of people that I don't know. And obviously this has improved, but I would still say I definitely feel quite anxious. I just tried to combine awkward and anxious in one word. But anyway, if it's just me and one other person that I'm getting to know, then I feel a lot better and a lot more confident than if I'm with a group of new people that I don't know. When I'm talking about these kind of anxious feelings, for me, it's feeling as if my voice doesn't have a place, and that goes back to what I said before about supervisions at Cambridge. Like I never felt as if I could say anything because I didn't think what I was saying was worthy of being heard, and I feel like I'm just gonna say something stupid and everyone's gonna judge me, and I still hang on to that to this day. Like in a social situation with a lot of new people, I go quite quiet because I feel like everyone's gonna judge me, and I overthink what I'm gonna say, and I overthink what I have said. Like I think back to everything I've said, literally every line I've said in a conversation, I overthink and I go back to it and I'm like, Holly, you shouldn't have said that, you should have said it in a different way. What happens if somebody interprets it in this way and they think you're this and that? Oh my gosh, like my head goes crazy in those situations. I am getting better and I'm learning a lot, but it's not to say that those feelings are not there, because they very much are still there. I overthink everything and I still think I'm very socially awkward. The second thing I wanted to talk about is essentially friendships and my struggles with friendships that I have, because as I said, yes, I have met people at university through traveling, through what I do online, tutoring, just by doing some netball in my local area. Like, yes, I have met people and I would say I have friendships in my life. However, I constantly question these friendships. Like, I always feel as if I won't fit in and I feel like I'm out of place. And I have battled this my whole life, like throughout school, throughout university, to this day. My analogy for the day is that I kind of feel like I have a shelf life. I feel as if I have these friendships, but I'm eventually going to go out of date and then people don't like me anymore, or they never even liked me to begin with. You know, I always feel as if I am friends with people, but I never feel as if people are properly friends with me. As I said, I just constantly question friendships and I always feel like people don't actually like me, if that makes sense. I've never spoken about this online at all, but I always just question whether there is just something like wrong with me, and I always just sometimes feel as if I am like a true loner. As I said, like, I have these friends, but like, are they proper friendships? This always plays over in my mind. Obviously, it's harder to keep up with friendships when you leave university or when you finish traveling and you don't see these people all the time anymore. And that's when I feel like these thoughts start to kick in, because I'm like, do these people like me? Do they still like me? Do they like hate me now? Did they like me in the beginning, or was it just all fake? You know, this all goes through my head, and I hope this one isn't just me. But bottom line is basically that I've always felt as if people don't really like me. People don't really want to be friends with me. They're just like friends with me in that moment or for a specific reason. And then, as I said, I go out of date and, you know, I'm expired. Something else that's quite funny, I suppose, to look back on is that I have always, throughout my whole life, tried to have a single best friend. The closest I ever came in my life to having a best friend was in secondary school. However, I've never really properly had a true best friend or a friend for life that I've been with, you know, growing up. For me now, 23-year-old Holly, I don't care about having a single best friend. Like, that is not my goal. For me, my true best friend and the person that I will always confide in and rely on and fall back on is my sister, like my dude. Yes, she is my sister, but she's also my best friend and my soulmate, and she always will be. And for me, like, as long as I have my dude, that's okay. You know, I can have no other friends and I could just have my dude and I would be perfectly fine. Like, I've come to realize that my sister and I are inseparable, and I am just so grateful to have Emily in my life. So when I battle these thoughts, I kind of always do talk to Emily about it, or I confide in Em, and I kind of remind myself that I will always have Emily and like my whole family, even if I don't have any friends. The last thing I essentially wanted to talk about in this video was boy friends, boy space friends, you know, having boys as friends. The bottom line with this is that I have, you know, always seen having boys as friends quite foreign, and I never really have had boy space friends. Going to school, like, I went to a mixed primary school, but I then went to an all-girls secondary school, and then I went to university and I didn't really talk to any boys at university. I've also grown up dancing, and that had always been very female dominated. I've always found it really difficult to socialize with guys. However, as I've spoken a lot about in this video and others, you know, I've changed quite a bit, and over this past year or so I have met more people and I have met boys and girls, and I feel like it's becoming a lot more normal for me now. I would say that when I was traveling, I met my first ever guy friends. As I said before, like, I never really socialized with guys because, I don't know, it was just always really hard for me, like a lot harder than socializing with girls. And I think that's just, as I said, because of my upbringing and how I've gone through school and danced and not really met many boys in my life. Whenever I've spoken to guys in the past, I've always been like, oh my gosh, I'm speaking to this guy, and, you know, like, it's a guy. Like, I can't even explain it, but it's just always been so weird to me. And I haven't just been able to be like, Holly, you're talking to a guy, that's fine, they can be a guy friend, you know? I haven't really managed to marry those two concepts together, and I finally, as I said, now think I've mastered it, and I'm just like, you know, this is a guy, I'm just meeting a guy as a friend. You know, at the end of the day, you could meet someone new and they could be a really close friend of yours for the rest of your life. You never know until you talk to that person. And so that's what I've just realized, having grown in confidence. And that's kind of a nice way to bring this video to a close. As I said in my 2018 video, I felt at that point in my life that I knew the true power of friendships and socializing and stuff like this, but I feel like it's only now that I've truly realized that, you know, that I've truly learnt the power of having friends. However, I want to stress in this video that I still do have my struggles with friendships and my struggles with socializing. To formally like conclude this video, I feel like we should just say that, you know, we are constantly growing, we're constantly changing, and we're constantly evolving. Like me sitting here on this day and filming this video, you know, I feel as if I've grown so much, but I'm still probably gonna grow and learn and evolve, and that's okay, and that should be encouraged. I truly feel like an oven right now in this sweater. Like I should not have worn this, it's so hot and I need to open the window. So I am gonna end this video. The lighting is also really weird right now. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you could maybe relate to something. I hope that it was an enjoyable chat at the very least. As I said at the start, feel free to comment down below anything you'd like me to talk about. If you don't have any topics in mind and you want to comment something down below because you made it to the end of this video, what should you comment down below? You can comment down below a yellow heart emoji, or you can comment down below a B, okay? On the topic of friends, and to finish this video, obviously all of you guys that tune in and watch my videos, we're all one big happy family and we are all friends. So yeah, thank you as always for being here, and I will speak to you as always very soon in another video. Bye! Can you hear that? Oh my god, there's a fly in my room. Get out, you fly, you fly. Get out. Stupid freaking fly. Get out! Yes!